Hi, and welcome back to the Build and Grow Your Business Like a Pro live show. I'm Allie McCauley, Brandon Webb, strategist, coach, designer, and developer. And I'm super excited to be here today with Josefine Wanner, who's joining me. She helps women to break free from the corporate world to then create their own business, which is really rooted in doing what they love and allows them to live the life that they truly desire, which you know that I love. If you're part of this group, I'm talking about this all the time, is that we want to be creating a business that really allows you to live your calling, right? And live your passion. So I'm super excited that you're here with us today. I can't wait to hear all about how you got started on your journey, helping entrepreneurs in the way that you do. So why don't you introduce yourself and tell us about your start?
So hi, everyone. My name is Josefine. I'm originally from Sweden, but I live in Switzerland since many years back. And I've been in corporate for plus minus 18 years, something like that. But it was always this type of thing, I was the good girl climbing the corporate ladder, took a master's degree and continued climbing. And I never really listened to this voice that you have here at the back of your head whispering, like, Josefine, this is not what you want, So, and it's quite flattering, you get promoted and you get all of this responsibility and everything. And I think it was some years back where I started to, it was also about the corporate culture and, feeling that something, it's not really what I want to do, but I couldn't really, put the finger on it. So I started talking to friends about setting up our own businesses. So I had actually 2.5 failed startups because one of them, we had the passion, but we didn't have the guts. And in one of them, we didn't really have the passion. And again, we didn't have the guts. And in the half, we couldn't even agree on what it was that we wanted to do. So I say that I failed in starting 2.5 businesses just because we didn't have the guts, but also that we failed the passion for one of them. And that is so important. That is also what I'm saying to the people that I work with, that it has to be built on joy, as you said in the introduction, joy and passion and guts, because the steps when we are entrepreneurs, it's so highs and it's so lows, and we need to be passionate about what we're doing, because otherwise we will never make it through, because it's hard sometimes, right?
Oh yeah.
And the reason why I decided then to actually take the leap was I learned that my father had incurable cancer. And I was like, this could be me. This could be any one of us. And that was my wake-up call. And I think that everyone has a wake-up call if they're not doing something that they love. And it can be you lose someone you love, or you have a burnout, or maybe you lose your job. Probably more wake-up calls out there. That is why I'm helping these people to kind of do this and figure out what they want to do and set up a business so that they can truly live from it and live well on it before they have their wake-up call. Yeah. So that is a little bit my passion.
Oh, that's awesome. And I would kind of have a similar story in that just why we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
For the same reason I help people, because I don't want to see anybody not being able to live the life they love. And, I also had that kind of burnout, that corporate burnout, where I just wasn't, I don't know. Everyone knows the feeling when you have to wake up and go to work, or when it's Sunday night and you're getting ready and it's just that miserable pit in your stomach. I mean, and who really wants to be living life that way, right?
My husband used to ask me on Sunday, so what do you do tomorrow? And I was like, don't talk about that.
Don't bring it up.
Don't bring it up. I didn't even want to think about work on the weekends. It was, because it ate so much of my energy the whole time. Now as an entrepreneur, I think, hour-wise, I don't work less, but it's a completely difference when it comes to energy level. I love what I do. I wake up every morning with a big smile on my face. I get to meet people like you, which I wouldn't have done in my corporate career.
Yeah, that's such a good point. And I love the way that you said that too, that we're actually not spending less time. I mean, some people say that they do, right? I'm not at that place yet where I'm spending less time. But I agree. Like I plan my day, right? If today I wake up and my calendar says I'm doing certain things, I can rearrange it. I don't have to be doing those things. I can say, well, I actually feel more aligned today to do this, so I can rearrange it because I'm
Yeah.
in charge. So it's a whole different way. Like you said, when you wake up smiling, and the way that you can perceive going into the day.
Or just, take a half day off and be with the kids.
Right.
So taking the kids to the swimming pool area or whatever, right? That is such a kind of fantastic quality of life that you have, the whole flexibility. There are no time constraints in that sense because you said it yourself. And before in corporate, I had back-to-back meetings, and I was a senior executive in one of Switzerland's largest banks. So it was like from the morning until the evening, and just when you went to the ladies' room and you came back, and your whole inbox was full of new things that you had to do. Yeah, it was all the time. So you didn't have time to breathe and do things. So that was also one of the reasons why I quit, because it felt to me as if I don't have a choice. I need to do this now. I need to get out. Otherwise, otherwise it might be too late. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you see being like the most common things that are holding people back from leaving their corporate job?
I call it actually the golden cage. The golden cage, because you're in this golden cage, and all of these bars that you see, there are different kind of things that hold you in there. It's your monthly salary, but it might also be culture. It might be, in my case, I didn't even tell my mom that I had quit until like after my father had passed away. But and I was my mid-40s, and her reply was, oh yeah, you need to deal with it yourself. And was like, well, I've done that since I was a teenager, but it's still these kind of expectations, what people think that you, or what you think that other people think that you should do.
Totally.
When I also started out, I didn't have a Facebook. I didn't have a profile picture on LinkedIn. I was very private on Instagram. So when I started out, I chose Instagram as my platform, because putting myself out there, doing something completely new within my old network was really, really, really scary. So that is also one of these bars to actually do something completely different that you might not really know that much about in the beginning.
Yeah.
So that is
Wow.
the fear of failure. Yeah.
Yep. 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 And so you've created a group coaching program.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that. Tell us what you teach inside of your program.
So it's I actually do more or less the same, not the same thing that you do, but we follow a step-by-step approach. And my group coaching program is called the Empowered Entrepreneur, because what you get there is like people come to me, and some of them have businesses already, but they're not that successful, and some of them are like really new starters. So what we're doing the first 7 weeks, we're setting up kind of like an online offer, and we're testing it on a real audience. We're testing it for free on a real audience against testimonials and feedback. And then they continue working on that. And they also get to know themselves and what they want to offer. Because we often talk about the ideal client. And many people say, yeah, hair color and what you had for breakfast. That's not at all what we're doing. We're doing a real ideal client methodology. But it's also who is your ideal client? What do you want? Mm-hmm. And first, when I started out, I was like, oh, I want to help women who are like in the same situation where I had been, who are a little bit lost. Turns out that those are not the people that I want to work with, because they are not yet there. They are not yet there to take action, to take these steps. And my program is very fast paced. So we're walking very fast. And you need to be an action taker to actually be able to be and thrive in my program. So that is kind of like also how it's set up and how I like to work with my people.
Yeah, that makes sense, that, once they join, they hit the ground running, right? So then you can get results.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is the ultimate goal, and quit that corporate job, right? Well, have most people already quit by the time that they join? They're just, in their like early stages trying to figure things out and get their business really off the ground.
Yeah. So both. But let me put it like this. The people who have not yet quit, they have for example, have one-on-one clients, which I have worked with before, to get them to the point where they say, now I'm ready to actually figure out what it is that I want to do. And this is what I want to do. And now I'm going to do something with it. So that is people who are a little bit lost and don't really know what they want to do. My program is not the right start for them. They need to know quite well what it is that they want to do. Mm-hmm. And then but I have one person who joined a workshop, one of my free workshops. And she said during that workshop, she said, holy cow, now I know that I can make a business out of my passion. I didn't know that before. So she is in my program. So it's like, she's very kind of like starting off something new, but she knows exactly what it is that she wants to do.
Yeah. And she just needed that kind of wake up call that was something that was even a possibility, right? Like some people are so stuck and they might not even think like, well, I actually could make this work. I could be doing something that I really love. So that's so cool. I love that you do that. Where do you see your business going next? What are you working towards? What kind of goals?
So I'm working on getting more people into my group coaching program, because I also love these different types of industries that I get to know. I have Pilates in there. I even have one who does crocheting, I think it's called, when you're knitting. Stuff like that. So there are, and coaches, of course, but it's like all the different types of people and services that you can offer online. That is so exciting, just to see and follow these people, to see them grow and to see them make progress and see them become successful. And that's also what I always tell them. It's that your success is my success.
Yeah.
So that is what drives me. And that's also kind of like so that they trust me, that I will do everything I can to bring them forward, but I cannot do it for them. So this kind of a two-way street, kind of like. You say that? You know what I mean.
Yeah. I love that too. I agree. Like there's so many different ways people are working online. And we talked about reasons people are leaving a little bit, but like, especially since COVID, so many people had to leave and work from home or take a leave, all kinds of different situations. And it really has just compounded how many people are moving into the online space, even within their previous job, or finally just realizing the need and the ability that they can have to get a business going online. So it's so cool. I agree, to see all the different types of entrepreneurs and businesses that are emerging and get to work with them. It's invigorating.
And it's exciting. And I even told my husband the other day that even if we would win the lottery, I would still do this. Because it gives you so much energy, actually, to see other people grow and kind of like go outside their comfort zones, because things that we're doing, these are scary things too, to actually reach out to people.
Yeah.
So
but then cool. to get to see that change being made, though, in their life is so cool. So cool. Well, I love this, Josefine. Thank you so much for being with us. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find you online?
So I have a Facebook group which is called From Enthusiast to Entrepreneur, where we have both people who want to become entrepreneurs, but also people who already are entrepreneurs. Because what everyone struggles with is mindset. Mm-hmm. It's mindset to take us to the next level, independently of where we are. And so that is kind of like one of the big focuses that I have in that Facebook group, to focus on mindset. I also do kind of like weekly trainings in there and free offerings, and we are a cool group of people. So that is, if they can also find me everywhere, kind of like not on TikTok, but on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. But if they want to come into my group, then more than welcome to do that. So it's called From Enthusiast to Entrepreneur.
Awesome. Okay, great. Well, I'm so glad you joined us today. Thank you so much for being here, Josefine.
Thank you so much, Ellen, for having me.
All right. See you next time.